As I sit before you, I want you to imagine that this is not a lecture nor a sermon, but a conversation, one that speaks in the depths of the human soul to yours. For many years, I have studied the human psyche, its mysteries, its shadows, its light. And if there's one truth I have discovered, it is this. To evolve as a human being, to reach your goals and to live fully, you must turn inward first. The outer world is a reflection of the inner one. My first counsel to you is this. Do not ignore your inner voice. Each of us carries within a quiet whisper, a guide that comes not from the noise of society, but from the depths of the unconscious. Too many people live their lives guided only by the expectations of others, never asking themselves what their soul truly longs for. If you want to grow, begin by asking, what do I really desire? What is the life that resonates with my innermost being? Growth is not merely about success in the material sense. It is about individuation, becoming who you truly are, not a mask, not a performance, but a whole, integrated human being. This process is often uncomfortable. You will encounter parts of yourself you would rather ignore, your fears, insecurities, contradictions. Yet these are not obstacles, they are stepping stones. I have seen in my patients that when they begin to listen to the hidden self, something awakens. They feel both frightened and alive, vulnerable yet stronger than ever before. To evolve, you must accept the paradox. True strength lies in the acceptance of vulnerability. Let me ask you now, because I do not want this to be a one-sided dialogue. If you are watching this, I invite you to reflect. Have you ever silenced your inner voice because the world told you it was foolish? What fears have you discovered within yourself that later became sources of strength? And tell me, from which country are you watching this? I am deeply curious how these reflections on the soul resonate in different parts of the world. Share in the comments below. Your stories are not only for me, but for everyone here who might see themselves reflected in you. The second counsel I would offer is this. Face your shadow. Each of us has a shadow, the part of ourselves we deny or repress. Some people imagine the shadow as only darkness, but it is not. It holds the energy of your suppressed creativity, your unlived potential, as well as the impulses you fear. When you deny it, the shadow controls you from behind the curtain. When you face it, you reclaim your power. Do not be afraid to look honestly at your anger, your jealousy, your desire for control. These do not make you evil. They make you human. By bringing them to light, by naming them, you weaken their hold on you. The person who integrates their shadow walks with authenticity, no longer wearing a mask for the world, but embracing totality of the self. This is where the path to evolution truly begins, with honesty, courage, and the willingness to see yourself fully. Goals achieved without self-awareness become empty victories. But goals pursued with an integrated self bring both meaning and fulfillment. So, as we continue this journey together, remember, the first steps are listening to your inner voice and confronting your shadow. From here, everything else unfolds. When I speak of the unconscious, many imagine it as a dark cellar filled with forgotten memories or hidden fears. But it is much more than that. The unconscious is the soil from which the tree of your life grows. If you wish to evolve, you must learn not only to acknowledge it, but also to listen to it. My third counsel to you is this. Pay attention to your dreams. Dreams are not random nonsense, as some might believe. They are the voice of the unconscious speaking in symbols, metaphors, and images. They reveal not only what you fear, but also what you need, what you ignore, and what you might become. When you dismiss your dreams, you close the door to a wellspring of wisdom. But when you take them seriously, you begin to see patterns, messages, and guidance. Sometimes a dream will show you a side of yourself you've been neglecting. Other times it will warn you of a path that leads to emptiness. I ask you now, reflect for a moment. Do you remember your dreams, or do you let them slip away with the morning light? Have you ever had a dream so vivid, so powerful, that it stayed with you for years? If you have, I invite you to share it in the comments. Others who read it may discover that their own dreams carry similar symbols, reminding us that we are all connected to the collective unconscious. Now, let us move to the fourth counsel. Cultivate relationships that reflect your soul. Humans are not meant to walk alone. Each relationship we form is a mirror, reflecting back to us aspects of ourselves. Some mirrors are flattering, others uncomfortable. Both are necessary. You must be intentional about the people you allow close to your inner world. Surround yourself with those who encourage authenticity, not pretense. Do not cling to relationships that keep you in chains of fear, resentment, or stagnation. Instead, seek the ones that challenge you to grow, even if they are uncomfortable. In my own life and work, I have seen that the deepest wounds often come through relationships, but so does the deepest healing. A true relationship is not one where both people are perfect, but one where both are willing to face imperfection together. Consider this. Who in your life truly reflects your authentic self? And who makes you wear a mask, hiding who you are? These are questions not just for private reflection, but for dialogue. If you feel open, share your experience in the comments. You might be surprised how many people across different countries and cultures have walked through the same struggles in love, friendship, and family. To evolve as a human being, to reach your goals, you cannot ignore these two realms, your inner dreams and your outer relationships. They are not separate. Your dreams show you what your soul longs for, while your relationships show you whether you are living that truth in the world. So, as we continue this journey, remember, your unconscious is your guide, and your relationships are your mirrors. Honor both, and you will walk closer to the person you are meant to become. If you have lived long enough, you know that suffering is inevitable. To be human is to experience loss, disappointment, heartbreak, and even despair. Many people spend their lives trying to escape suffering, as if it were an intruder. But here is my fifth counsel. Do not run from suffering, transform it. Suffering is not meaningless. It is a crucible, a fire through which the soul is refined. In every wound lies a possibility of growth, and in every loss, the potential for discovery. When you avoid your pain, you also avoid your chance to evolve. But when you face it, when you sit with it, listen to it, and learn from it, you awaken strength and wisdom you never imagined you possessed. I have seen in my patients that the deepest transformations often come after the darkest nights of soul. A man who loses his career may discover his true calling. A woman who faces betrayal may uncover her inner resilience and courage. The pain does not disappear, but becomes a teacher rather than a tormentor. Reflect with me for a moment. What has been the most difficult moment of your life? Did it destroy you, or did it reveal something new about who you are? If you feel comfortable, share your reflections in the comments. You may discover that someone else, perhaps from another part of the world, has walked a path similar to yours. And in that shared experience, healing begins. Now, let us move to the sixth counsel. Discover your true purpose. Too many people live as though drifting, carried by the winds of circumstance. They pursue goals imposed by others, status, wealth, recognition, without ever asking, what is my purpose? Without purpose, even great achievements taste hollow. But with purpose, even the smallest act becomes infused with meaning. Purpose is not always something dramatic. It does not have to be a grand mission or a public stage. Sometimes your purpose is to nurture a family, to create beauty through art, to heal others, or to cultivate wisdom within yourself. It is not about comparison. It is about alignment with your own soul. Ask yourself, what activity makes you lose track of time? What brings you a sense of deep satisfaction, even if no one applauds? What contribution can you make to the lives of others? However small, that brings light into the world. Purpose often emerges not from triumph, but from wounds. Many find their calling in healing the very pain they once endured. The one who was abandoned may become the one who offers belonging. The one who was silenced may become the voice for others. I encourage you to reflect on your own story. Within it, your purpose is waiting. Remember this, suffering and purpose are intertwined. Pain cracks open the shell of the ego, and through that opening, purpose enters. Do not flee from your struggles. Instead, let them shape you into someone stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. As we continue, hold on to these truths. Your wounds are teachers, and your purpose is a path they reveal. We live in a world overflowing with noise, voices from society, endless demands, the constant hum of distraction. Many people drown in this noise, never hearing the deeper rhythms of their own soul. That brings me to my seventh counsel. Seek silence and integrate your inner and outer life. Silence is not merely the absence of sound. It is the presence of a self. In silence, you can hear what is often lost in the chaos. Your intuition, your true desires, your fears that need compassion rather than denial. Too many fear silence because it forces them to confront themselves. But without silence, the unconscious cannot speak clearly, and the soul remains unheard. When I work with my patients, I often encourage them to spend time in solitude, not as isolation, but as a sacred space for reflection. In solitude, you realize that you are not just the roles you play in society, not just a worker, a parent, a partner. You are a soul on a journey. Ask yourself, when was the last time you embraced silence? Not with phone, not with distractions, but with yourself. Did you feel uncomfortable, or did you feel at home? I invite you to share your experiences in the comments, because silence is interpreted differently across cultures. Some traditions see it as meditation, others as prayer, others as contemplation, but all agree it is a doorway to the depths of the psyche. Now let us talk about integration. Many live divided lives, one self for work, another for family, another in secret. This division creates exhaustion and emptiness. To evolve, you must bring these fragments together. Integration means becoming whole. Wholeness is not perfection. It does not mean erasing flaws, nor does it mean erasing contradictions. Wholeness is about embracing every part of yourself, your strength and your weakness, your light and your shadow, your reason and your emotion. Think of life as a tapestry. Each thread alone is fragile, incomplete, but when woven together, the threads form a strong, beautiful design. In the same way, your experiences, even the painful ones, form the fabric of your soul. To integrate is to live authentically, no longer pretending to be someone else for approval or survival. It is to stand in the truth of who you are without apology. And in that authenticity, you find peace. Not because life is free from struggle, but because your inner world and outer actions are aligned. So I ask you, where in your life do you feel divided? What would it look like to bring these parts of yourself into harmony? These are not easy questions, but they are necessary. And as you reflect, share what feels right in the comments. You may inspire someone else who struggles with the same divisions. Silence and integration are not luxuries. They are necessities for a life of depth and meaning. Without them, goals remain shallow, relationships remain surface level, and the self remains fragmented. With them, you discover balance, strength, and authenticity. As we approach the final part of our journey together, remember this: silence is a language of the soul, and integration is a path to wholeness. As we arrive at the final stage of this reflection, I want to gather the threads we have explored together. We have spoken of listening to the inner voice, facing the shadow, honoring dreams, cultivating meaningful relationships, transforming suffering into growth, discovering true purpose, seeking silence, and integrating the self. These are not abstract ideas. They are paths, living practices that guide you toward wholeness. Wholeness is not the same as happiness. Happiness is fleeting, dependent on circumstances, moments of joy that come and go. Wholeness, however, is enduring. It is a state of being at peace with yourself, even amid chaos. It is knowing that you are not perfect, but you are complete. To evolve as a person and reach your goals, you must abandon the illusion that perfection is required. The truth is that your flaws, your struggles, and your contradictions are part of your humanity. To deny them is to deny yourself. To accept them is to live fully. Now, let me speak of something that lies at the heart of my work: the collective unconscious. Each of us carries not only our own personal story, but also the wisdom and patterns of humanity itself. When you reflect on your dreams, when you recognize your shadow, when you connect deeply with others, you are touching something far greater than yourself. You are participating in the great human journey. This is why your growth matters, not only for you, but for the world. A single individual who becomes authentic, integrated, and whole creates ripples that affect family, community, even future generations. By evolving, you become a source of light in a world often dominated by shadows. I encourage you to act, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Begin with one step, perhaps writing down your dreams, or sitting in silence, or having an honest conversation with someone you trust. Change does not happen in an instant. It unfolds slowly, like a seed breaking through the soil. Trust the process. And because this is not only a monologue but a dialogue, I ask you once again, what part of this reflection resonates with you the most? Have you ever faced your shadow, or found meaning in suffering, or discovered a glimpse of your true purpose? And tell me, where in the world are you watching from? Your voice, your experiences, your stories, they are as important as the words I share. This community of seekers grows richer when each of us contributes.